Good evening, everyone. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So during our last session, we were discussing about liquidation, the meaning of liquidation that we had discussed, that it's a process of bringing a business to end and distributing its assets to claimant. So liquidation, everyone is aware of. It's a process where a company sells its assets and tries to recover cash from that particular sale of assets. Liquidation normally happens when the company is aware that it is not possible for the company to survive in that particular sector or to be profitable in that particular sector due to tough competition as well as due to various other factors such as change in the rules and regulations of the government, start or enactment of new act, compliance of that act is not possible for the company. So there are many reasons where the company feels that it is not possible for this particular company to be there in that particular success in that particular sector and earn profit. At that particular time, the company feels that it will be better for the company if company closes down its business and sell the asset, and whatever income, whatever cash will be generated by the company, that asset, that cash, that money can be used as an investment in other sectors. So that is liquidation, everyone is aware of. So here the process of bringing a business to an end and distributing its asset to the claimant. Distributing assets to the claimant means suppose 50 employees are working and the company is into losses for say last 3 years or maybe for a more period. The management of the company, they tried everything but they could not revive the company, so they have decided that they are going to close down the business. Now distributing assets to claimant means the employees who are working with that particular company, if for example they are not paid for a period of 1 year or maybe more than that period, distributing among the claimants means that after selling the assets of the particular company, the company should see to it that the money which it is getting because of that sale of assets, they should first clear the salary dues, incentive dues, bonus dues of the employees who are working in with that particular company. Then the remaining amount they can use as investment in other sector, and that is what distributing its asset to claimant means. Now there is a process for liquidation. It is not that it is as per the wish of the employer or of the owner of the company or managing director of the company. Whenever he or she feels that they can close down the business and whatever amount they get after selling the assets of the company, whatever they feel, because it is their money, so they are selling the assets, they are the owner of the company, so whatever they feel, they are going to invest that particular money as per their wish. So that is not there because there is a process to be followed for liquidation. There are rules also there under Companies Act, which the company has to follow. Every company has to follow. Now, the general process for managing liquidation is: number one is develop a comprehensive plan. It is under that, developing a comprehensive plan means that the company has to show that for the last 3 years, 2 years, 1 year, 5 years, when the company is into losses, they tried everything to revive the company, but the company is they are unable to bring the company back to profit. Reason for liquidation they have to mention in the comprehensive plan. Then they need to finalize the assets which they are going to sell. The parties, they need to finalize negotiations, they need to finalize with the parties who will be purchasing those assets, how much money they will be getting, where they will be using, how they will be using. All these things are to be included in the comprehensive plan. Next one, after comprehensive plan, is prioritize financial obligations. Prioritize financial obligations means what are the financial obligations for the company. First, they need to fulfill or complete those financial obligations. For example, if company has not paid the taxes which the company is, it is mandatory for the company as per the rules and regulations of the government. Under step number 2, the company has to finalize this, that this much amount of tax is outstanding against the company. Whatever money the company will be getting once the assets of the company are sold, they will be first paying the taxes of the government under various laws. It also includes that if the salary, bonus, incentive of the present employees are remaining, the company was not in a position because of bad financial health, because of losses which were there for the last so many years. So company could not pay for the salary of the employees, full salary, half salary, or a small portion of salary was remaining. So that thing the company has to clear for. So prioritize means they have to mention, they have to come up with a plan that okay, first priority is that clear the salary of the employees. Second priority is whatever taxes are remaining, that taxes are to be paid to the various departments of the government once they get money after selling the assets. So this is the second process where the company has to prioritize its financial obligation, and then whatever money they will be that will be remaining with the company after selling the asset, they can utilize it as investment in other companies, or they can invest wherever they want. Next is communicate with stakeholders. Now, stakeholders, we have already discussed that they are internal stakeholders, there are external stakeholders. Whenever the company is going for liquidation, they have to keep the stakeholders, that means internal stakeholders as well as external stakeholders, updated that we have decided, the board of directors of a particular company or the management of a particular company has decided that we will be going for liquidation procedure. And why we are going for liquidation, that again is to be updated to all the stakeholders, both internal and external stakeholders. Next, manage employee expectations. It is said that the first priority shall always be given to the employees because they have worked for the organization. So, whatever due is pending with the organization for against the employees, that dues are to be first cleared, and that is what manage employee expectations. So whatever expectations are there of the employees, that we should get this, we should get that, we should get this. So whatever is legal, whatever is mandatory, whatever is as per the practices, rules, regulations of the company, that is to be met. And next one is liquidate assets effectively. Once all these things are done, then the company can go for liquidation procedure. Whatever money the company will be getting, first they need to clear all these things, and then the remaining amount they can use wherever they want. Now, the next topic is outsourcing. Now, this term is very popular. Everyone is aware of this particular term. For the last 20 years or so, this term has gained a lot of importance. Earlier, this was this term was not very popular. Very few companies used to go for outsourcing. But right now, what has happened is most of the companies are going for outsourcing. Reasons are many. One of the reason is that every company cannot be every company cannot be at its best in each and every field, or they cannot have expertise in each and every field. For example, if we take the example of human resource department, the HR department has to take care of number of roles and responsibilities. First one is doing manpower planning. What is the current state or strength of the organization? What should be the future strength of the employee? How many employees are to be recruited? Where the employees, in which department they are to be recruited, at what level they are to be recruited. So manpower planning, recruitment and selection. Then once recruit employees are hired, they are to be shifted to training and development department. Then once they are their training and development is done, then their performance is to be evaluated, then their payroll measurement is to be done, then legal compliance is to be taken care. So these are the various roles that are to be performed by the HR department. Now, it is said that every company has some expertise. So one company cannot be an expert in each and every field. The HR department of a particular company may have expertise in performance appraisal, legal compliance, or one or two things. And they do not have expertise, they may not have expertise in manpower planning, in recruitment, in training and development. So the best way is the company can outsource these functions, these role and responsibilities to some other expert, third party, consultancy firm. And these things are very common nowadays. Earlier, this was not very common. Earlier, what used to happen is The company used to feel that if we outsource our functions to a third party, then we will be sharing our confidential data with the third party, which the third party may misuse. That was the thinking earlier. Now, the mindset of the companies have changed. Now they are not thinking like that this is the confidential data which will be misused by the third party if we outsource this particular functions to the third party. Now, what they are thinking is that wherever we are having expertise, we should be keeping with ourselves. And wherever we are lacking expertise, we can outsource this to experts so that our efficiency can be improved, productivity can be improved. And that's the reason why most of the companies are going for outsourcing. Payroll management. Earlier, the company feels that it's a tedious kind of job which is very time consuming, and two, three people of HR department are constantly working on this particular system, payroll management. How many employees are there? What is their in time? What is their out time? How many are late comer? How many are early goers? Then how many have taken sick leave? How many have taken casual leave? How many are remaining absent without the consent of the higher authority? All these things are to be recorded for payroll management. So the company feels that three members of the or three employees of the HR department, they are not doing any other job because they are very much occupied. They are busy in maintaining the records for payroll management. Now, here, if the company decides that, okay, no problem, what we will do is we will outsource our payroll department to some other expert third party. So they will be taking care of everything. So these three people will get free, and we can utilize the expertise of these three people in other things in the sense that we can utilize their expertise in measuring the performance of the employee or designing new training programs for the employees which will make the employees more productive, more efficient. So this type of thinking is pushing the management for outsourcing the functions of some of the functions of the organization to some other organization or some third party or some consultancy firm which are experts into this. We are aware that placement agencies are there or consultancy firms are there. They are expert in what? In placement related things. So nowadays, what the companies are doing, they just share that these are the vacancies which are available in the company, and we need this type of candidate. Suppose two managerial candidate, two executive we need, and 10 machine operators we need. The company will be giving the salary, that this will be the salary band for managers, for executives, and for machine operators. The qualification for managers will be this. The qualification and experience for executive will be this. Qualification and the experience for machine operators will be this. So this type of information is shared with the placement agency. Now, the placement agency will float the advertisement. They will call for they will receive the application. They will shortlist the applicants. They will conduct the primary interview. and at last they will be conducting the final interview of the candidate with along with the company official. So this way the company is minimizing the workload of the HR department. Similarly, in every department, these type of functions are there. It is not that only HR department work is to be outsourced. The other department works can also be outsourced. Finance department, entry, every voucher is to be entered. That is rule of accounting. That everything, whatever expenses the company is making, it has to be recorded for the purpose of calculation of profit and loss. Now, this that 5 rupee voucher is to be recorded, 50 rupee voucher is to be recorded, 1000 rupee voucher is to be recorded. So, one, two, three, four people are there who are there working in the finance department. Their job is only to record the voucher. So some companies, what they have done is they have outsourced this uh, entry of vouchers to third parties who are experts in that. So they are so that the existing employees of the finance department they can concentrate on the other finance department related activities, and that is what outsourcing is. So earlier I have already told you that why most of the companies were reluctant because they used to feel that their confidential data will be shared and it will be misused. Now, thinking have changed, the mindset of the companies have changed. Now they feel that no, the third party or the other organization with whom they are entering into an agreement for outsourcing, that a party is not going to misuse their data. In fact, that party will make sure that these factors or these functions are more competent or more productive. How it can be made more productive. So that is the meaning of outsourcing. Some of the best tips for effective outsourcing that we will be discussing very shortly, and then we will move on to the other thing. So first one is define the goals of your outsourcing. So whenever the company is going for outsourcing, first is that define the goals for your outsourcing. Okay, these many functions are there. Which are the functions which you want to keep it with yourself, and which are the company functions which you want that it can be outsourced? So that is to be done first. Then next one is create project descriptions in detail. That these are the most key functions for the organization that has to be handled by the organization itself, and these are the supportive functions that can be outsourced to the other organization. So comprehensive, create a project description in detail. Comprehensive planning is to be prepared at level 2. Plan your budget. What is your budget for outsourcing? If, for example, we had just discussed that the placement agency, they charge a fee. They are not doing it for free for the company. So what is the budget for the company that is to be finalized? On the basis of budget, you can hire the company, because there are placement agencies which can charge, for example, a very low fee. There are placement agencies which will be charging moderate fee, and there are placement agencies which will be charging heavy fee, hefty fee. Now, depending upon the budget available with the organization will be able to get in touch with that type of placement agency, because low budget or the uh, placement agency which is charging low fees, we need to understand why it is charging less fee. Reason could be many, that it's a new company which has just started its placement business, or they are they do not have that expert people in their team. Because of that, they are charging less. So reasons we need to find out why the third company is charging a very hefty fee. They may be charging very hefty fee because they are having number of companies their as their client company. Their results are very good. The team of experts they are having is very good. So this thing we need to keep in mind, and then we need to plan our budget. Next is appoint a manager for outsourcing. A manager level personnel is to be appointed who will be taking care of uh, the outsourcing, uh, the entire outsourcing activity. Because if you are outsourcing, there has to be a person who will be monitoring that, okay, we have outsourced, we have signed a agreement with the placement agency that for this much of whatever rupees, this much of budget, the company has agreed that they will be identifying the candidate, or they will be interviewing the candidate, they will be shortlisting, screening the candidate, and they will be supplying the candidate to the company. So that will save the time and money for the company, so that the senior officials of the company they can concentrate on more important functions like strategy preparation, strategy implementation, like that. So here a person is to be appointed who will be monitoring it, because signing a agreement doesn't mean that you will be keeping blindfold towards that particular the working of that particular company. Now this particular manager will be monitoring that whatever the terms and conditions of agreement are, the third party is the third party working as per those rules and regulations which are mentioned in the agreement which the third party has signed with my company or not. Whether whatever they had promised that we will be giving you these number of candidates, this type of candidate, whether they are able to provide or not, all these things are to be monitored by this particular manager. Next is request for proposal. Request for proposals means this particular manager will be, before signing the deal, that okay, placement agencies, number of placement agencies are available, you can get proposal from number of placement agencies. Placement agency A will be charging these many rupees, B will be charging these many rupees, C will be charging these many rupees. So it is not that only on the basis of what fees they are charging, the party is to be selected. This could be charging fees, or fees charged could be one of the reasons to finalize a company. It cannot be the only reason to finalize a company. We need to understand that, because while finalizing, if we want to be associated with the best company, so fees charged by that company could not be the only criteria for selection. What was the previous track record of the company? That needs to be checked. How many clients are associated, client companies are associated with that particular company? That again is to be checked. How many employees have been supplied by that particular company to the client company? That again needs to be checked. What is the retention ratio? What is the success ratio of those employees who are shortlisted, who are finalized by that particular placement company in terms of working with the organization? Whether they are staying in the organization, whether they are productive or not, all these things are to be checked before we finalize a deal for uh, uh, this outsourcing, and that is what request proposal. Whenever a proposal is expected, all the proposals should have all these requirements. And after going through the all this data, the company will be able to enter into an agreement related to outsourcing. Next is select a company. So on the basis of the data, three, four, five companies, they send the proposal. That proposal is to be checked that okay, this is the fees to be charged. This is the experience of company A. This is the these many years is the experience of company B, company C, company D, and likewise. These many clients are being handled by A. These many clients are B, C, D, E. These many employees have been provided by to company A, B, C, D, E. This is the success ratio of the employees which are being provided by company A, company placement agency A, placement agency B, placement agency C, D, E. So this thing we need to now identify or check or verify or study, and then we can go for selection of a particular company. And the last one is analyze the output. Once we have selected a company for outsourcing, we have given the function also to the third party, the company could be company A, B, C, D, E, any company. Last thing what we need to do is analyze the output. Analyze the output means what is the output of that particular company, and how we can analyze that. Earlier we were doing recruitment and selection. Now we have outsourced this recruitment and selection to third party. When we used to do recruitment and selection, we used to recruit 50 employees for different department at different positions. What was the retention ratio when we used to do recruitment and selection? What was the process when we used to do this particular function? What was the productivity of the employees who were recruited by the company against the company to which we have outsourced recruitment and selection? There we need to, then we will be able to analyze. So our data, the company was doing recruitment and selection for 1 year, for 2 year, for 3 year, or maybe more than that. That data should be ready with us, and then we should collect the data from the third party or third the company with whom we have entered into an agreement. Then we will be able to know whether the company, whether when we were doing recruitment and selection is good for the company, or whether outsourcing is good for the company. So after a period of say maybe 6 months or maybe 1 year, we will be able to understand whether it is good for the company or not so good for the company, right? And that is what the best tip for effective outsourcing is. What are the various benefits of outsourcing that we will be discussing? I hope my voice is clear to all. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So significant benefits of strategic outsourcing. Very simple benefits are there. Most of the benefits we have already discussed. If you have not understood so far anything, please unmute and go ahead with your query. In between also, you can unmute yourself, you can request me to stop, and you can go ahead for your query. Okay, that means everything is understood. When we talk about the benefits of outsourcing, the first benefit is get niche expertise and strategic leadership. It means that, for example, right now we were discussing outsourcing example related to placement, related to recruitment and selection. So get niche expertise and strategic leadership. So when we are outsourcing this recruitment and selection function to a particular consultancy, to a particular placement agency, so we are getting in touch with the experts. They are working only in the area of recruitment and selection. Unlike the company HR department, which is taking care of all the functions, right from manpower planning to recruitment and selection to training and development to performance appraisal to legal compliance to salary and incentive administration. So companies HR is taking care of everything, and when we have outsourced a particular function, so what we get is expertise and strategic, because recruitment and selection we have outsourced to a placement agency. Now that placement agency is expert in that field only. They are not going to get involved in training and development, or they are not getting involved in payroll management, or they are not getting involved in performance appraisal. So their focus of area is only one, and that is recruitment and selection. So when you are focused in one area only, you become expert of that. That we all are aware of. Earlier, what used to happen? HR department has to concentrate on 10 different areas. So they could be expert of one area, two area, or maybe three area. But we cannot expect that HR department will get expertise in all the 10 areas. So that's the reason why one of the significant benefit is that it gets niche expertise uh, and strategic leadership. Next one, focus on strategy and core business competencies. So that also we had discussed that company, when the company is going for outsourcing, at that particular time, the company make an analysis that what are the primary activities for the company, or most important activities for the company, or most important functions of the company, and what are the supportive functions. So company has to enlist. These are 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, the core functions which are to be taken care by the company only. And these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or whatever the number, it depends upon company to company. It varies from company to company. That these functions can be categorized as supportive functions. Two, supportive for what? Supportive function for the core function. So with the help of this, the company can focus on the core functions, functions like strategy preparation, strategy implementation. Rest supportive functions can be outsourced to the other party. Next one, save the labor and infrastructure cost. So HR department earlier everything used to be handled by the HR department of the company. So earlier, 20 people were required in the HR department, we will say. And now, as the company has outsourced some of the functions related to HR department to the other parties, other experts, third parties. So instead of 20 people, now only 10 people are required in the organization's HR department. So this way, the company is able to save on labor and infrastructure cost. Infrastructure cost means earlier for accommodating 20 people, more infrastructure was required, more PCs were required, more space area was required, more laptops were required. So more more infrastructure. Now less employees are there, so less infrastructure is required. So it saves third is it saves the labor and infrastructure cost. Next one, it enhances capacity, speed, and quality. Now, how outsourcing enhances capacity, speed, and quality? We have seen that for finance department, if we take voucher entry is one of the functions. We cannot say that this is the only function. But apart from many functions, for example, one of the function could be allocation of capital, or allocation of finance, allocation of money to different department for day-to-day activities could be one of the functions. Then conducting audit could be the second function of the finance department. Then preparing the budget, allocation of budget could be another function of the finance department. Another function could be whatever expenses are being made, collecting voucher and making entry of those vouchers in tally. That could be another function of the finance department. So number of functions are there are number of functions that are to be performed by the finance department. So when a department is performing many functions, the speed of that particular department, the accuracy for that particular department, the quality of that particular department comes down as compared to less number of functions being performed by a department. So earlier finance department used to perform say 7 functions. Now the finance department is supposed to perform only 3 functions. So 7 functions, the productivity, the speed, the accuracy, the quality has come down. The moment 4 activities, 4 finance functions have been outsourced, now only 3 functions are there. Number of employees are more to take care of these 3 functions. So there the speed has increased. The quality has increased. Quality means number of errors which were there in the transactions related to financial department have drastically come down. That means it has increased the quality. Next one is better risk management. Better risk management, number the chances of making mistakes, the chances of doing error comes down. Why? Because number of functions are to be performed have come down. Earlier, the 10 people were there in the finance department and they were performing 8 functions. Now, 7 people are there and they are performing only 3 functions. So automatically we can say that when the errors are less, when the mistakes are less, we can say that it reduces the risk for the company also. So it manages the risk in a better manner. Next is enhanced resource utilization. So we had discussed that three people in of the HR department, they were just concentrating on what, that how many employees have logged in time, how many are latecomers, how many are on leave, how many are on leave without permission, how many are on sick leave. So three people are continuously monitoring or recording that particular data. Now, these three human resources, these three employees can be utilized in more productive areas of HR if the recording of time function can be shifted to a third party. So that way we can say that it enhances the resource utilization. So what these three people were doing, they were doing a very monotonous type of task, repetitive type of task. So their qualities, their skills, their abilities were not getting fully utilized by the company. So when the company has shifted the timekeeping function, time recording function to a third party, automatically these three, now their abilities, their skills can be better utilized by the company. Next one is uh, access to global knowledge base. Global knowledge base. You can outsource to the in the domestic market, as well as you can outsource to the global market also. Now, audits are there, or performance evaluation is there, or performance management is there, or measuring the efficiency of employees are there. So for measuring the output of the employee or potential of the employee, the company can either go to a domestic a third party, or they can hire the services of say international firm also, a very reputed firm. Now we have seen that many companies are there for carrying out the audit. They are engaging the services of top companies like Deloitte, like PwC, Price Water Cooper. And so, why they are engaging these global companies, or why they are getting into agreement with these global audit companies, financial companies, to conduct audit for their company? Because the company wants to access, get access to the global knowledge. That first, we had given the audit to a company which is situated, say, in Mumbai or in Delhi or in Ahmedabad or in any other area of the country. What is the result of output for that particular company? What is the procedure, their audit procedure? And what is the output of Deloitte or PwC or any other top company? So that can be observed, that can be checked at um, while uh, doing the calculation, analysis. So this way, with the help of outsourcing, we can get access to not only the domestic best players, but we can also get in touch or get the access to outsource our functions to the global leaders in that particular field also. Next is there are outsourcing strategies. So what are the outsourcing strategies? There are certain, we need to then finalize what are the primary activities. So under primary activities, manufacturing, purchasing, warehousing, sales force, customer services. So for outsourcing strategy, first we need to understand what are the primary activities that we had just discussed. That under that, for purchasing also, which part of purchasing is to be outsourced and which part of purchasing we should be keeping with ourselves. Calling for tenders from third parties, shall we keep it with ourselves or shall we outsource it? That is to be checked under primary activities. Under accounting activities, again, whether tax processing we should be keeping or what part of tax processing we should be keeping with ourselves and what part we should be outsourcing to the other company. So that we have already discussed how it is to be done, how it is to be written, how as per the planning when we were discussing about preparation of comprehensive plan. So in preparation of comprehensive plan, what are the most important activities or core activities, that activities, and what are the supporting activities? Under that, we need to first, in that comprehensive plan, we have to list out, and then we can go for out, outsourcing. So these are some of these strategies related to outsourcing. If anyone has any doubt, please go ahead, or otherwise we will stop. So that is the end of our unit 2. So that is the end of our unit 2. Now what we will be doing is, if there are no queries, then we will shift to directly to the yes. So unit number 4, I hope my voice is clear to all.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and my screen is also visible.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So unit number 4 we will be starting with, and we will only 5 minutes are remaining, so we will just discuss the first this slide related to common barriers to successful strategy implementation. Strategy, we have discussed what is the meaning of strategy, what is the difference between strategy and tactics, what is the process for strategy preparation, and what is the process for strategy implementation. That we have already discussed. Now we will be discussing about what are the common barriers for successful strategy implementation and how we can overcome those barriers that we should be discussing. We will be discussing in this. We will start with uh, the first one is resistance to change. So here we are talking about common barriers for successful strategy implementation. Whenever the company is coming up with a new strategy and whenever the company wants to implement that new strategy, the most common barrier for implementing that new strategy is resistance to change. Because most of the employee feel that if a new strategy is going to be implemented, it is going to directly affect their job in the organization. Company is coming up with new strategy. They feel that ultimately what will is going to happen is some of the employees are going to lose their job, and he or she could be one of the employee who will be losing his or her job. The moment that thing enters the mind of the employee, their reaction is what? That they want to resist change. That our existing strategy is good, so there is no need to change this strategy. The employees feel that last year the company made profit, or for the last 3 years the company is into profit, so there is no need to change the strategy. Whereas the company feels that if they implement a new strategy, their profit percentage in profit earlier, for the last 3 years the company is earning say 5% profit or maybe 10% profit. The company